Well, speaking of WrestleMania weekend, if our guest is ready, you can give me a thumbs up and we can get right to it. Let's do it. Folks, very excited to welcome now from House of Glory. Then we're going to be, let's get into why we have him here. On April the 5th in Philadelphia, it's going to be House of Glory and Wrestling Revolver. They're going to have a co-match card. They're going to beat each other up. We're going to welcome right now the one and only from House of Glory, Brian XL joins us now. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing, guys? I couldn't figure this out. It's my first time using this app, so I was just trying to figure it out.
No
worries.
How you guys doing?
Good. We appreciate you joining us.
Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me. I'm a big fan.
First question. Don't say you're a big fan. That's that's pressure on us now. sorry that you watch it or keep up with any of our coverage. The House of Glory Wrestling Revolver show. Talk to us a little about this and how it came together working with Sami Callihan's promotion.
So we've been running shows since 2011, and we've been in New York. We never really ran events outside of New York. So we were just comfortable where we was at, and we just felt like this year would have been a perfect time to make a move to run a show outside of New York. And Sammy's a good friend of mine, and he's been killing it with Revolver. They've been traveling all over, and that's the things that that's what we trying to do. That's our goal for this year, to travel to different places. So, me and him just going back and forth for a couple of months, and the opportunity presented itself, and then we're like, you know what, let's just do it, and we're doing it together.
Now, speaking of doing it together, you two have matched up in House of Glory once upon a time, you and Sami Callihan. Any ongoing talks of a little rematch going on there?
Oh man, I'm an old man. That was a long time ago. I spoke to him about it, and let's see what happens.
It's 10 years ago. We could bring that right back.
Yeah, I wish, man. Yeah, Sammy's really talented, man. He's a good mind for wrestling, and he knows a lot. And that would be great, man. I would love to wrestle him if the opportunity presented itself.
So we're confirming not retired right now. I know you haven't wrestled for a little bit, and then even last year it was just kind of you take select kind of matches, usually teaming with Amazing Red, but still got some matches left in you.
Yeah. So for me, it's just I bounce back and forth. Like sometimes I want to be a wrestler, and sometimes I don't. Me and Red, we sat down and we came up with this group called the Bookers. And the fans, I loved it, And so we did it for a little while. Then we spoke to Brett from GCW, and he brought us in, and we did good. And I feel like we had a big blowout match against the main event, and then we basically went our separate ways. For me, it's more like focusing behind the scenes. Yeah, that's just that's my thing. That's what I like to do instead of just being in the ring. I like being more of the promoter.
How's that shifted your view coming from being an in-ring talent to moving into a booker and promoter position? Has that been advantageous? Has it been more of a struggle? Talk to me about that experience.
It's definitely been a struggle, especially, obviously, I never, at that before 2011, I never promoted any event, so it was definitely a struggle. And I just learned while we went, and nobody ever taught me anything. And then I started really was passionate about it. Started doing my homework and basically, try to put the best matches I can, and that's what I did. I put a lot of dream matches together. We put Amazing Red versus Rey Mysterio Jr. We had AJ Styles versus Ricochet. We had so many dream matches. I had a list of dream matches that I would want to see, and I know that fans would want to see. And we made it, and the buzz just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And, and I just learned on the way, And I just love the position that I'm a promoter. That's how I consider myself more than a wrestler.
Yeah, I don't know if House of Glory really gets the credit they should for everything that you guys do. You guys got Tanahashi coming in for shows. The Briscoes, legendary, their last match was at House of Glory. House of Glory to me is I know you guys don't stray too far out of New York, but it's one of the biggest independent promotions out there. Are there, you're running Philadelphia with WrestleMania weekend, past WrestleMania weekend, is there plans to kind of go outside New York a little bit more?
Yeah, absolutely. And I get that a lot. People, I thank God for that, man. People really say this is, House of Glory is one of the top tier indie companies out there. And for me, it's like I never looked at it like that. You know what I mean? So when people say that, it's just I feel like we're doing something right, and I you know I love it, man. I just want to keep striving and keep going, you know. But yeah. So right now we announced Boston. We're doing Boston May 25th. So that's after Philly, we're going to Boston, and hopefully we could go to Chicago. We could go to Florida. So we're just gonna start branching out from there and see how it goes.
So you mentioned Amazing Red and working with Amazing Red. How did that partnership kind of come together? And when did you guys decide that it was time to kind of blow that off, be done?
So that's I got to make a long story short because I'll be here all day trying to explain what. So what happened was I had the money at the time, and I told Red and there was somebody else too. I was like, look, Red, you're the name. I put the money up, and at that time he was with TNA. I said, look, you're the name, you could be the forefront of this. And I put the money in and we just focus on you. You're the owner and stuff like that. And then he was like, all right, let's try it out. And then once we tried it out, then it was great. Me and him became partners. He loved it. And he ended up walking away from TNA. And we've been building this since. You know what I mean? For me, I think, Amazing Red is one of the best wrestlers out there, man. Like his mind for wrestling is just, I've been doing this for a lot of years, and I never met anybody like him. You know what I mean? Like he really knows the business, and he really knows how to train these kids and prepare them. You know what I mean, for huge matches and stuff like that. So, yeah, man, I knew Red since he was like 13 years old, 12 years old, and he's one of my best friends. You know what I mean? So it works out perfectly. Me and him being partners, and I focus on the company or the promotion, and he focuses on the school. And if I need any ideas or I need help with something, he's the first person I go to, and he gives me what he thinks is best to do, and that's what I do.
Amazing Red, complete innovator when it comes to wrestling. Yeah, and I love that he's like starting to now more and more get his flowers, and I hope that continues as he keeps active, because I first discovered him in TNA with the X Division stuff. It's like, oh, this dude's different. This dude's definitely different. So I love that I can still watch him in House of Glory and some other promotions as well. You mentioned a dream match list. I don't know if you want to put it out there of some dream matches that you might be trying to work on, or that you have on kind of the top of your mind here.
What, for House of Glory?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to say. But there's a few. I always try to have a list of matches I think that fans would love. And so I'm basically right now with the Amazing Red and Mustafa Ali. I think that's a great dream match right there in itself. And I was also, to be completely honest with you, we were supposed to do Amazing Red versus Vikingo for Boston. In that one, I feel like that, basically, the older high flyer with the newer high flyer, putting those two giants together. And then obviously Vikingo got hurt, so we got to find a replacement. But that's one dream match I would definitely want to do. Amazing Red versus Vikingo. I think it will be really good.
You've got a title versus title match on the card for the Wrestling Revolver and House of Glory show. You got Santana and Alex Shelley. Now it's title versus title, so one of these guys, I assume, is going to walk away with both championships. Yeah. You've had Alex Shelley work with House of Glory. You obviously have Santana as your House of Glory champion. Yeah. Who's I don't want to pit them against each other, who's the better representation, but I mean, you get to pick one of them. Who do you have full time on your House of Glory roster?
I have a lot of love for Alex Shelley, man. This guy is a great talent, you know what I mean? And but Santana's my guy. That dude right there, man, I think he's in his prime. You know what I mean? He's in the best shape of his life. He's still young, he's still hungry, and if you watch the matches that we put him against since he won the world title, you understand what I mean. Like he gets his all in that ring. You know what I mean? I feel like he has a lot left, and I won't be surprised if he gets picked up real soon. But this kid is talented. He loves wrestling. For me, it's like what I judge people on is like, there's guys that are signed obviously in AEW, right? And a lot of these guys, or most of these guys, they don't need to do indies. They have money. They're good. You know what I mean? And so when there's guys that like Pentagon and there's other guys that still do indies, that's to show you that they do it for the love of the sport, because they don't have to do that. You know what I mean? And Santana, his contract, he had a good contract, and he doesn't care about the money. It's more about me getting in the ring and wrestling in front of the people. So when people and especially they have big contracts like that, and they're still doing indies. That's to show you how hungry they are, and I respect them for that. You know what I mean? So Santana is one of those guys.
Did he come to you at all when he left AEW recently? Did he seek your advice at all on what he could do, should do, anything like that?
So, me and him been going back and forth since he came back. I went to go see him at AEW, and me and him had long conversations there and on the phone. You know what I mean? Even the things that were happening behind the scenes with him. I remember one time he had called me like at 1 a.m. and something was happening over there. He was with them, and he was at AEW, and I don't want to go too much detail in that, but I always try to give him my best advice. You know what I mean? He's my brother, man, and he takes if he wants. You know what I mean? And when I have some problems, I ask him for his advice. So we went through back and forth for some things, and I think that he made the right decision staying there till the contract went out. And now he's hungry, man. He's ready to go and do his thing, man. He has something to prove.
What are the conversations like in working with different promotions? Like you guys have Impact Talent. You mentioned AEW. Penta was just on the latest show. AAA with Vikingo. So how are those conversations going when you're trying to use these talents who are under contract elsewhere?
It's great, man. I appreciate the opportunity, man. You know what I mean? I'm a kid. I came from nothing. And I've been watching wrestling since I was 5 years old, and to be able to be in this position, man, it's a blessing from God for me. You know what I mean? And so it's been going great so far. AEW been great. AAA been great. TNA's always been great. So everybody's been great for the most part. You know what I mean? We never really had no issues and stuff like that. So,
Listen, not everyone is familiar with House of Glory, just like Jeremy was saying earlier. Can you give a couple of matches that people should absolutely find and check out from House of Glory?
Wow, this, not to toot that horn, but there's so many. There's a really lot of great matches, man. The Ricochet versus AJ Styles was great. Like I said before, Rey Mysterio Jr. versus Amazing Red. Low Key versus Vikingo was just crazy. We had no rope matches with Ken Broadway and Anthony Gargano. I mean, not Gargano, Anthony Gangone, one of my old students. And that was just brutal. So we had steel cage matches. I could go on and on. My mind is just blocked right now. We had the Hardys versus Private Party. We had the Young Bucks versus Private Party. It's just there's a lot. You know what I mean? Once you start going through on the YouTube and stuff like that, or you go on Fight TV and you start looking at the library, you'll be able to see the matches that we had in the past. It's just so many.
Yeah, this was really an excuse for me to be like, talk about all the dream matches you guys just had. There have been a lot of them. So I think we got to put that over. Before we let you go, we play a little game on the show. It's called Partner, Promo, or Punch in the Face. It's been called...
Wait, excuse me, I'm sorry?
We play a game. It's called Partner, Promo, or Punch in the Face. So I'm going to give you 3 names, and you're going to pick which one you would like to tag team with in a match, which one you would like to punch in the face in a singles match, and not literally, but have a singles match with, and which one you would like to have a promo with, one-on-one in the ring on the microphone. Are you ready?
Okay, yeah.
All right. Your 3 names are Sami Callihan, Amazing Red, and Smiley.
Wow.
Partner, promo, punch in the face. You've got long histories with all of them. And of course, Sami is going to be with you on this Wrestling Revolver and House of Glory show on April 5th.
Damn. Obviously, punch in the face, I would say Sami. Red is my brother, and Smiley is my student. I have a lot of love for him. So it'll probably be teaming with Red, punching Sami, and doing a promo with Smiley.
It's well thought out.
Yeah.
Not everyone gets to think it out. Some people just blurt out the 3 names, and they're just. Some people know, but you know.
Of course.
Brian, before we put over the show, put over what you've got going on, and then we can put over the Philly show.
Yeah, House of Glory, man. We're running big events in New York, and we planning to expand and do bigger things. So check us out, man. We a company on the rise, and we've been on the rise, and we in people's radar. I think even more now. So we're just gonna continue growing and putting on big events, man. So I hope you guys support us, and man, God bless you all.
Appreciate you for your time. This April 5th, 3 p.m. Eastern.
My birthday.
It's on your birthday?
Oh, okay.
Oh, now we're going to do everything for this one.
Yeah, it's my birthday.
It's on Triller TV Plus. It's Wrestling Revolver taking on House of Glory. Title versus title match. Santana versus Alex Shelley. There's plenty on the card. That guy Steve Macklin that he and I we talked. He's gonna fight Charles Mason on the card, and of course the dream match, Mustafa Ali taking on Amazing Red. More will be announced. But April 5th, 3 p.m. on Triller TV, live in Philadelphia. Go check it out. Trinity Center for Urban Life. Brian Excel, thank you so much.
Thank you guys, man. God bless you guys. Talk to you soon.
Appreciate
Thank you, Brian. We appreciate it.
Take care.